Here, the pulse of the heartland beats strong as barbecue smoke wafts in the air and the rhythmic beat of jazz echoes in the streets. Nestled along the Missouri River and amidst the rolling plains, the spirit of the Midwest thrives like nowhere else. The essence of resilience, fortitude, and determination, here in the heartbeat of the Midwest. Passion runs deep and dreams take flight as a community bound by love for a sport that spans generations becomes the nexus for wrestling excellence. Here, grit meets glory in a celebration of the enduring spirit that defines both city and sport. Legends will rise and champions will be forged here in Kansas City, here at the 2024 NCAA Wrestling Championships. Here is where fans and wrestlers alike have waited an entire year to see who's going to be an All-American in the blood round, who is going to emerge from the semis and battle for a title tomorrow night. Inside the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, as we've witnessed dominance from Penn State over the last decade and then some, the Nittany Lions could clinch once again tonight another team championship. This would be their 11th in the last 13 years. They are well ahead of the rest of the field, but the top three teams here at NCAA's get a team trophy. 3 through 10 are separated by just 11.5 points, and a win in the semis tonight is worth 7 and any bonus points, so a lot could change. Under Cale Sanderson, who if they win a championship would make him the second most all-time, tied with Eddie Gallagher with 11. They've got 6 in the semis. Only one other team has more than 6 wrestlers left total, and they could tie 2001 Minnesota with 10 All-Americans. We are so glad to have you here with us in the booth tonight, Mike Cousins. We start with Daniel Cormier on what is your favorite day of the wrestling calendar.
I mean, you feel it, like the cool kids say, it's lit up in here, or it's a vibe. I mean, the music's playing, the matches are ready, the wrestlers are ready. This is my favorite night. Of all the things I do, I love the NCAA semifinal.
You're a friend to anybody in this building wearing orange, and some of those have done really well for Oklahoma State. Dayton Fix, Dustin Plott among those.
It's hard not to fall in love with the brightest and most beautiful orange in the entire country. But Dayton Fix, once again, is an All-American. That's 5 times. And Dayton Fix goes to another NCAA final. This will be the 3rd time he wrestles for a national championship if he gets the job done. But he's not alone. His teammate, Dustin Plott, was dominant in the quarters. Takedown after takedown to punch his ticket to the NCAA semifinals. But ultimately, we're all in Keegan O'Toole's house. We're in Missouri, and this young man is the king of Kansas City. He will strap you up. He will pin you. He's a national champion. He has been dominant, and while he's been dominant, he has looked good doing it. Look at him in that white singlet as the crowd is going crazy. All hail King Keegan, the pound-for-pound best wrestler in this entire field.
Well, if he's the king, we've got the champ too, Jordan Burroughs, along with us. Let's look at 174, JB, which is a nightmare of a weight class to try and win this year.
Yeah, incredible what these guys have been able to create. And look, Carter Sirachi finds himself as a 9th seed. It's got to be the first time ever that a 3-time national champion finds himself as a 9th seed. We were skeptical. After he defaulted out of the Big Ten tournament, goes 9-2, and then he comes back in here and he beats Mekhi Lewis, a returning NCAA champion, 4-0. Very workmanlike process here, moving, shifting, and that knee looks strong. I tell you what, he might not look like himself, but him at 80% is better than most people's, but 100%. And he's going to have a tough time in this semifinal because this guy single-handedly saved Stanford wrestling, and now he finds himself in a different color singlet. He's in the maize and blue, but he still looks amazing. No pun intended. He looks good. He's fighting through the pain. He's got stitches in his eye, but he still finds himself in a position where he can find himself back into the national finals.
Griffith and Starachi, a phenomenal semifinal matchup, back-to-back national championship winning opponents for Carter Starachi, who's going for 4. So is his teammate Aaron Brooks. There have only been 5 wrestlers ever to win 4 national championships, and Brooks trying to get there.
And he may be the first in Penn State history. Names like Zane Rutherford, David Taylor, Jason Nolf haven't been able to do it, and he may be the guy that can do it. I believe in him. He's going to get his 4th this weekend.
We opened things up at 125 pounds, which has been the most chaotic weight class this year. Richard Figueroa from Arizona State upset the #1 seed Braden Davis earlier, and Anthony Noto is the lowest-ranked semifinalist, number 23. Drake Ayala from Iowa against Eric Barnett from Wisconsin, who won in a tiebreak period against Caleb Smith of Nebraska and is now a 3-time All-American. So our seeds here range quite a good bit. 3 of the 4 quarterfinals went into sudden victory, which means we might have some more intriguing action here in the semis.
And you got 2 guys, Noto and Figueroa. They both cleared that side of the bracket, beating the top seeds on the side. But if you know these guys, you know the potential that they possess. And on the other mat, you got Barnett versus Ayala. Ayala had a great quarterfinal win. I mean, just a phenomenal bracket. And all year, JB, this bracket has been up and down. There have been so many guys at one point ranked #1 in the country. But right now, you see the cream of the crop rising as these 4 are trying to punch their ticket to the NCAA final.
Well, it's not about being the best guy throughout the season. It's about being the best guy in this weekend. So you got 3 days to put together your very best performances, and that's why you see yourselves with a 12 and an 8 and a 10. These guys probably have all been ranked in the top 5 this season, but these guys are all wrestling very well this weekend.
Absolutely.
You're right on, JB, because you go back to the first week of November, Noto and Figueroa were ranked 1 and 2 in the country.
And here they find themselves at 12 and 8 seed. And so that's deceptive, right? You see the seeds and you naturally think, man, these guys have gotten lucky to get this far into the tournament. But little do you know how well these guys have wrestled and how prepared they are for this moment.
Drake Ayala of Iowa, a takedown over Oklahoma State's Troy Spratley in sudden victory to earn his spot into the semis. And it guarantees Iowa an All-American now for a 53rd straight year. Trying to give them a finalist every year going back to 1990.
And Ayala's a kid that's been one of the elite wrestlers at every age level throughout his career. From the youth level to high school, now he finds himself as one of the best in the country as a college guy. And so has Richard Figueroa. You know, you watch these kids wrestle their entire life and know the potential they have to be successful. It looked like Ayala was going to score there, but reaction time.
And Barnett's doing a good job here. Here's what we know, DC. In a position like this, you've got to be stingy. You've got to continue to wrestle through every position. You cannot concede because you never know when the ref's throwing up 3 points. You've got to continue to wrestle through every position.
Well, that beautiful review room is about to get used for the first time because Brands has already thrown the challenge brick on that takedown.
And joining us tonight, down with the best seat in the house, he's right between the 2 mats, is our rules analyst, former wrestler and NCAA official, Rock Harrison. And Rock, it looks like they're going to be challenging the takedown there.
They're looking to see was control established and was it beyond reaction time. In that situation, Ayala had a sweep single and reached across for the other angle. Once he got there, it looked like he had control, but it was so momentarily. So in this position, in slow motion, it looks like control. When we do it real time, it doesn't look like control was really established. As you can see, Barnett kept moving to do a kick out. In my view, that should not be a takedown. So let's look at this in real time, because slow motion kind of just jades you a little bit. The shot here's a sweep single across. He's going to cut across and reach towards it. There's a kick.
Takedown, Rock, that's takedown.
You see that other leg is out?
Oh, yeah. Well, Rock, watch that moment when he collects that far ankle, Rock. Is that not a takedown when he hits him to the hip? He has the one ankle, and the moment he turns to kick away, he still has both ankles.
It's beyond reaction time. It just continue to move. It wasn't enough time in my view.
Okay.
The question, I guess, is how much reaction time, right, Rock? Because it looked like once he secured the toe, Barnett went to Wizard, was unable to turn down. Both hands go flat to the mat,
and
but
he still had
continues
both
to wrestle.
ankles, look like, right?
He did.
And so the thing that we're going to listen to with referees, if the referee says it stands, that means they don't have enough information. If they say it's confirmed, that means that it's obvious that it was not a takedown.
Rock, how do you define reaction time?
That is subjective. When you get to the semifinals of the national tournament, reaction time gets a lot shorter because it's so hard to put yourself in these positions to get a takedown. So as it gets better, reaction times get smaller.
And by that, Rock, and by that logic, you would think that he had got to that position, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly believe that it was worth a brick by Coach Brands.
Okay.
Here's the thing that we do also know is there's a call to action for all wrestlers. Neither guy can stop wrestling through any position. If you're about to get taken down, you got to continue to defend. You never know if a takedown's been awarded yet, and if you're an offensive guy, you got to make sure you secure it.
Now, JB, what we've heard is that of all the challenges in the NCAAs before the semifinals, 19% have been overturned. So most of the time, they're going to go with what is happening on the mat.
That was a nasty high crotch by Richard Figueroa. He went off the elbow, high crotch, almost a duck under type of action. Here's that shot again. He gets to the single leg, up to his feet,
now watch him reach around, grab the toe. He's got the toe with the left hand here. Turns down, he's still got the toe secured. But for a split second.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this, gentlemen. If that was your guy,
I would not want to take down reward.
Hey, whoever you wrestle for, you want to make sure that you didn't get the points.
Yep.
Now here's the problem here. It's taking too long. I mean, it's got to be relatively quick and you're losing the flow here. I don't know what they're looking at.
So here, while they're on the phone, this is, before things get underway, it is populated now in the command center. So it goes back to a central location here in the tunnels of the T-Mobile Center where things get decided and then relayed out to, here on this mat, Scott Bricker, the head official, deciding whether it's a takedown or not for Drake Ayala. And just underway in the third period, it's the escape for Figueroa, up 4-2 over Anthony Noto of Lock Haven.
And that is where the three-point takedown is so important, because even though Figueroa is up 4-2, before Noto would get a takedown, it would be a tight score, Fig get away, match over. But now, Noto goes up a point, making that takedown much more important if he is able to secure it.
And it's a takedown for Ayala, a 3-0 lead, and a very well-used brick there by the Hawkeyes.
Got it by a toe and a break, too, to refocus, re-energize himself. He's going to look good after that break.
I think it came down to whenever he was able to hold on to that ankle, and then when he turned away from him and still was holding on to that foot, JB, I think ultimately that's what allowed for him to make that call.
Now, I don't mind that at all. That was a fine situation. As I said before, as the level of wrestling gets tighter and stronger, reaction time slows down.
As Noto is really putting the pressure on Fig right now.
Oh, and Fig with the leg pass. He's got to sit himself up, but he got a low leg cradle, almost like a Navy ride here.
Noto is holding on to that leg. Should start fishing inside. He's got to not allow Fig to elevate his leg.
Fig's not looking for a score here. He's looking for a stalemate.
Trying to hold on in past time.
And he's got that, the stalemate. So 30 seconds for Noto to try and get the takedown. Riding time not a factor there. And the first period done. Ayala with the lead. And it's Ayala's choice.
And Fig's got a stalling call against him, but Noto's going to need more than just a stalling. Stalling will give him an additional point, but he's still going to need a takedown here. And that looks like he might get another one right there.
It is the stall, so point Noto. Figueroa's got to be very careful here in these final 20 seconds.
If you're an Arizona State coach, you're telling Fig, stay in the center. You have to stay in the center. I know you're creating action on the out-of-bounds line, but that's not going to be your safe haven. Use your defense in the center of the mat to prevent this guy from getting another stalling call and sending it to overtime.
Well, now, JB, he can't give any ground. Now he's got to find a way to stay inside.
But he's going backwards.
Yeah, but that little
every
wizard,
time.
that little wizard, the circling back to the inside helped him. Oh, he hit him again. Wow.
And he does it. I don't love the way that it happened.
He got it done.
Hey, it's about strategy, tactics. He's savvy. There's one thing you can say about Richie Figueroa is he's savvy. He knows how to win.
In the quarters, it was a 3-2 win over the 1 seed. And here, a 1-point win for Richard Figueroa. And he goes to the finals. He'll try to be Arizona State's first champion since Zahid Valencia back in 2019. Point on the board for Barnett. 3-1 lead, Ayala. Let's go to Quint with Richard Figueroa.
Richie, congratulations. You had a big lead. What's going on in your mind there? Late, you're backing away, trying to hold on. What were you thinking?
Just good head, hands, defense. Just keep scoring. I knew the guy was going to come after me, so I had to be smart and defend.
How do you best describe the reaction from your coach, Zeke Jones, and the big hug?
I love it, this guy got my bag, I got his bag, and I just love the Sun Devil family, and I'm glad I made my parents proud today.
Congratulations. A great start for Arizona State tonight.
Figueroa from a wrestling family, a California State champ 3 times over. His sister won 4 California State titles. And short time in the second, still 3-1 Ayala as we get the other half of that 125 championship bracket filled in.
Watching Richie Figueroa go and accomplish something that so many thought he would for a long time was very impressive. And if you knew this bracket, if you had seen 125, knowing how good Richard Figueroa is, you knew he had an opportunity to go out there and become a national finalist, and he did just that. Congrats to Richie Figueroa and the Arizona State Sun Devils.
And you're going to hear bursts from all different corners. We just saw the Nebraska fans going nuts for Caleb Smith because on the outer mats, all Americans are being crowned as well.
Look at this scramble.
This scramble's going crazy.
Holy moly. Great wrestling.
It looked like Barnett was going to score a takedown there. Ayala at the last minute rolled back through the legs, leg pass. Jordan, one of the things that's so impressive about these young athletes is they tried to get rid of the scrambling with the danger position, so they've gotten better. They've gotten more aware, and now Ayala's down on a single leg off of a pass.
And he's back to the leg pass. He's sitting himself up.
Yep.
And look at Ayala. Keep that leg tight. He's got that arm lock. He finds himself out of bounds. Ayala is doing a great job. He's winning here, but he's trying to put the dagger in, the nail in the coffin, and go up by 5 late in the match.
It's easy to start with weight to try to hold on. But that's very dangerous because when the sprint starts, you start to panic a little bit.
That's right.
And that's when you see people get taken down. Sometimes your best defense is staying on the offense.
And if you're Eric Barnett, you got to start going right away. You got to make it a sprint right away. I think a lot of guys wait till there's short time left in the match.
That.
10, 15 seconds, then they get one solid attempt. You've got to start sprinting now. Throw things at them. Try to get them hit for stalling. Get them uncomfortable.
Take as many attempts and use every single second. As you see Barnett on the gas here, Ayala's playing the edge.
And that's a major difference between freestyle and folk style there. Is the out-of-bounds line for folk stylers is a safe haven, right? It's cushy with a bunch of pillows on the outside because these guys know that if they find themselves in a dicey position, they can get out of bounds and end the sequence.
But now this, right? I'm watching Barnett.
He's got
and he's pushing.
More shots.
Yeah, he's pushing. But he's not creating action that is going to allow for him to get a takedown and win this match.
Well, now he's looking for the stall. He's no longer looking for offense.
Yeah, he's desperate now.
So Drake Ayala, who takes over at 125 for Spencer Lee, makes it 34 straight years that the Iowa Hawkeyes have a wrestler going for a title.
I tell you what, Mike, this round wasn't favorable to the Iowa Hawkeyes at 125 pounds last year with a big upset, Matt Ramos over Spencer Lee. But now they've got a finalist going back with Drake Ayala. Amazing job. Congratulations to the Hawkeyes.
And it speaks to pedigree, right? Drake Ayala, another one of those kids that has been good his entire life, right? You see these kids coming up through these youth systems knowing that when it's their time, they'll have an opportunity. Drake Ayala, Richie Figueroa, if you told me at the beginning of the year this could be the final, I would not be surprised, and this is what it is today.
2 close matches at 125 in the semis. Richard Figueroa over Anthony Noto, and Drake Ayala, the sophomore from Fort Dodge, Iowa, against the senior Eric Barnett. What a showdown that will be. 133 on the way. Vito Arujau, 2023 champion, the highest scorer at this weight class this year. Dylan Ragusin from Michigan, a first-time All-American here in Kansas City. Lehigh's Ryan Crookham will face off against Vito Arujau, and he's already beaten him twice this year, including in the EIWA Championships. Could this be the year for Dayton Fix, vying for his 4th trip to the NCAA Finals?
When you finally decide to take care of you, there's Instacart. There's Instacart.
I'm winning. It's so on. I'm on the next level now.
Here we go.
These players are going to play hard-nosed, intense football.
Rule changes, innovation.
1, 2, 3.
They're going to ball out.
Every moment is a moment for greatness.
The United Football League, all season long on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.
This time I use talk. My use that use talk. I love this game. It's so hard. The one you never ever know about. I'm on the next level. Run, man. Houston scores.
It's so on.
Orlando, Angel City.
Let's show them how we do it, Doc.
KC, baby. KC, baby.
Get ready for the rush to the playoffs. The biggest games on the biggest stage. The most intense playoffs in sports begin in April and culminate with the most revered trophy of all. The Stanley Cup Final returns to ABC and ESPN Plus this June. The rush to the playoffs. The biggest games. The biggest stage. The Stanley Cup Final returns on ABC and ESPN Plus.
The United Football League on ESPN.
Here we go.
These players are going to play hard-nosed, intense football, passionate football.
Do not let up. Gotta get on the ball. Set the tempo. Let's go.
Rule changes, innovation.
Trip slap Fritos.
Every possession. 1, 2, 3.
Every play matters.
They're going to ball out.
Every moment is a moment for greatness.
The United Football League, all season long on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.
Being a wrestling mom is kind of terrifying, super stressful.
My wife, she's behind me, she's elbowing me and punching me and yelling at the top of her lungs.
Hold my breath a lot during the matches because you feel all the heartbreaks that they have.
You've got soccer moms, you've got hockey moms, but I'm going to tell you that wrestling moms are the ones to fear.
Simply no comparison to being a wrestling parent. Lots of them watching on here tonight at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City as we go to 133 pounds at the semifinals. Oklahoma State, the most decorated team in the history of the sport. Their last championship, though, all the way back in 2006. Penn State trying to make it 11 in 13 seasons. And Cale Sanderson would tie Eddie Gallagher for second most all-time with 11, trailing only Dan Gable, the most for a head coach, with 15. Dayton Fix has been to the finals 3 times, but never won a title. And his opponent, Dylan Ragusin, the redshirt junior from just west of Chicago, an All-American for the first time this year. Ryan Crookham, Vito Arujau, and JB, those two guys know each other very well. But will Crookham be able to get Arujau for a 3rd time this year?
Oh, that's going to be extremely difficult. You know what? After last season, I was thinking that Vito was the pound-for-pound best wrestler in college wrestling. He was not only an NCAA champion, but also a world champion at 61 kilos. Now he finds himself as a 6th seed in the national tournament. We'll see what he can do today.
Well, he looked so good in his first couple matches. He looked like himself in the quarters. A lot of offense. Looked as fast as he's ever been. And looked like he's ready to reclaim his championship. But Ryan Crookham, man, another very talented kid, freshman. That's been good for a long time. As Vito right away looking to score. And this is wow. And that's not something Vito did against Crookham in their previous matches. He wasn't able to get his scores off early.
It looks like a challenge brick came out. They went back. Those guys are bringing it back. What a close, razor-thin margin to get that takedown there.
It wasn't
back on the legs.
It wasn't your typical scramble. It was Cornell head coach Mike Gray scrambling onto the mat to get the brick back under his chair.
And look, they find themselves in the seatbelt position. And Vito needs to step that right knee in front of Crookham's left leg. Crookham does a good job with the wizard.
And Ragusin and Fix are going 0-0. What Ragusin's going to want to do is wrestle a super high pace. Did his high school stuff with Izzy style wrestling in Chicago, known for pressuring, wrestling hard. So when you wrestle a guy like Ragusin, you got to put him on his heels. You got to score and get ahead of him.
And Ragusin is typically the aggressor in all of his matches. He's very dominant, extremely poised and focused. I tell you what, Dayton Fix has found himself as a villain in this tournament. He's been in college for 7 years. He's 26 years old. When I was 26, I had a mortgage, and I had a wife and a son, and he finds himself in the college wrestling tournament. But, man, he's one of the greatest wrestlers in Okie State history, a 3-time runner-up. We'll see if he can finally get his title this year.
Right here, I'm looking down on mat number 5. And Nasir Bailey just became the first All-American from Little Rock.
And that's pretty cool. A program that was started just 5 years ago. And that draws a standing ovation from this crowd here.
Because we always love when a new program comes and they show that they can compete at some point. Hats off to Neil Arisman, Albert White, Javi Maldonado, and the whole staff. And hats off to Nasir Bailey for getting it done.
Trailblazer,
amazing.
pioneer.
I mean, Vito is on the offense tonight, Jordan.
He's got to be very disciplined here. We'll see how he finishes this. Notice how sits him to his hip. He's going to look to hook that top leg.
Crookham staying locked in the crotch. As Vito starts to create momentum, he'll try to take him across his back. Jordan to try to avoid getting taken down.
And Crookham's actually in a decent position here. He's got a lot of leverage. So if Vito loosens up his arms, Crookham can get his hips high. But if he also over-pursues, he can get rolled through. So he's got to be really disciplined with his hips.
Well, Vito already got a takedown, right? Another one. 6-1 for Aruja. Early.
He wants to be the aggressor here. Vito Aruja of Cornell. We spoke to him after EIWAs. They were tied at 6, third period. He said Crookham lulled him into what he wanted to do, and Crookham won 10-6. And we've got this action here. Our championships continue tomorrow from Kansas City. Catch all the medal round action beginning 11 Eastern on ESPNU and the ESPN app. And for more information, visit NCAA.com, the official home for all 90 NCAA championships. Blood time for Aruja, who will try and get that slowed down. Second period underway. Scoreless for Fix and Ragusin. It's been a steady climb for Ragusin to get to where he is now. An All-American for the first time. 3 years ago, he went 1-2 at NCAAs. 2022, he was 2-2, then was out. Last year, the round of 16, and now here, 1 win away from going to the finals.
Boy, he's just a tremendous little wrestler, man. He works so hard out there, and he takes advantage of every second he has on the wrestling mat. But watching Vito show out the way that he is to this point in this match is very impressive.
Well, you always favor the guy with experience, DC.
Yep.
I'm sure the same way in the octagon. When you were walking to the ring, fighting a young fledgling fighter, up against someone trying to take your title, you're like, man, I've got more experience than this guy. I've been here. I've been on bigger stages. I understand the moment a little bit better than this guy.
And when you get to the biggest spots, the champions shine, right? Vito's a world champion, senior level world champion, NCAA champion. So you expect him to shine when the lights are brightest, and that's what he's doing right now.
And the son of a world champion.
Yeah,
this guy's got the pedigree and the lineage.
His dad, a two-time freestyle world champ, Olympic bronze medal winner, native of Azerbaijan.
And he's still looking to score. Look at him cut off the mat, cut off the mat.
His intensity is raised, man. His focus seems a little different tonight. He has made sure that he is dictating and controlling all the action. He is not allowing Crookham to dictate to him at all.
Well, what you've seen in a lot of their matches is Crookham hasn't gone and gotten Vito. He's capitalized on Vito's mistakes. Typically, Vito gets to a shot because he's a shooter. He misses. Crookham's a very good scrambler, and he often comes down on top. But Vito is looking very sharp today, precise with his movements. When he finishes clean, and Crookham's having a hard time getting to him.
And Crookham generally will hit that little cross single leg where he takes that back pivot step off of his right leg, but then he attacks Vito's high crotch side. It seems like Vito is much more prepared for that tonight.
Starting the third, Fix with the lead, but Ragusin, he can get out here, can quickly tie it up.
Too fast, man. Look at that.
Yep. He went for that shot again.
But here's those positions we talk about. He gets deep, he gets him up off of his feet, but he still finds it difficult to finish here. And nice. Now look how he searches for the bottom leg. Not the top hook, he searches for the bottom leg.
He leg
stretches out that hamstring, looking to secure the takedown. There's another one.
I mean, he just looks amazing tonight.
And we're 1-1. Riding time not a factor over here.
Vito Arujau looks like looks like a guy that got seeded 6th as the world champion and said to himself, I should not be the 6th seed. These kids can't wrestle.
Who got a worse seed, Vito or Carter Starachi?
No, man, Kai Orini. Orini got the worst seed. He got Vito in the quarters.
Yeah, that's true too.
And that was a 13-3 win for Arujau, who's been the highest scoring 133-pounder here in the tournament. Not to mention, after this, Olympic aspirations follow. Scramble on the edge. They're out. Fix and Ragusin inside a minute to go in the third as Crookham looks to erase a 7-point deficit.
Wow, what a savvy scramble right there by Ragusin. He found his placement on the mat.
Yep.
He knew he was close to the edge. And when
How's that not a stalling? I mean, run to the edge of the mat and do a front flip. How's that not a stall?
Rock Harrison, our rules analyst, 54 seconds in the third on the left side for Fix and Ragusin. What did you see?
Right now, they're doing what's called an official review. And in an official's review, they're saying, look, they looked at each other and they said, look, let's talk about it. So now they're looking at it to see, was their control established? Initially, they waved it off. Now, if you saw someone on the phone, that means it's a coach's challenge. At this position, look, the first time I said, let's look at the replay. He's behind.
It's 3, Rock. That's 3.
Remember, hand touch last year, it would have been absolutely a takedown. But now it's not a hand touch. It is now reaction time. And like I said, at 125, I thought reaction time was legit, and they said it wasn't. This one right here, I think they want to wave it off.
Yeah, this guy right here is just, you don't know what he's talking about. I mean, that was a takedown.
And if not for a takedown, it was definitely a stalling. Some people call that smart. I call it stalling.
He ran out of bounds, Rock.
Hey, I'm about to throw you out. Well, it makes for fireworks for the ending. We got 40 seconds left. You got to go get one right now.
And you can't wait. You got to go score. Whether you're Ragusin or you're Fix, somebody's got to go get some offense going. I mean, but Arujau is just shining tonight.
This has been a man on a mission from Cornell.
He looks angry. He looks like a man possessed this evening. Look at him. He's still looking for points. He's up 12-3. Most people would have conceded and been content with riding this victory out. He's going for more. This is personal.
And Vito Arujau will go for a second title. Meanwhile, Fix and Ragusin look like they're going to sudden victory. Vito Arujau will look to be the 6th Cornell wrestler to win multiple titles It started with David Aubel in 1959, and most recently, Yanni Diakomihalis, who won 4, capping off his career last year. First score on the left side of your screen wins here in this 2-minute period.
Right here for you, Ragusin. Now you have managed to keep the match close. You're in overtime. You know one attack matters. If you're Dayton Fix, you cannot reach. You got to keep those hands down as you attack. As you want to come into contact, because if you know Dayton Fix, you know that his shots come from contact.
There goes Ragusin on the edge, and Fix right back to his feet.
That might be a stalling. We got us. Oh, no. What do we get there?
Neutral.
That was close there by Ragusin.
You know what? If I'm both of these coaches, DC, I'm saying, listen, change your life in this moment right here.
Yeah, man.
You got 1 minute for the rest of your life. Go get a takedown and finish it up. You can rest tonight. You can rest. You can be nervous and anxious tomorrow. Go get the takedown.
Look, man, you go in the cut weight either way. You can go to cut weight happy, or you can go to cut weight upset. You go to cut weight either way.
Hey, nothing worse than being on a treadmill with tears in your eyes.
Back to their feet.
The pressure is high now from Ragusin. It's 45 seconds left in this period. Ragusin can't. Back with a single leg for Fix. Yep. Off the high crotch. But he stopped on his finish.
He's got to continue with his legs. Left his hips behind. Now his ankles are in trouble.
Ragusin's kicking. I think Fix is thinking.
But look, Ragusin's exposed here.
Fix is
He's got to make sure he stays 90 with those shoulders.
So Angel Rivera calls the stalemate with 17 seconds to go.
I'm trying in this last 15 to go get one. I don't want to take it to rideouts. I'm trying
now. That's that Burrow sprint.
I'm trying now.
Yeah, it's that Burrow sprint. 2 Olympic champs in the corner, John Smith, Kevin Jackson. Both guys very prepared for this moment.
Jordan, it's got to drive you nuts to see guys not shooting late in periods.
Well, this sometimes comes down to the last guy to make a mistake, right? And so when the pressure's high, both guys are very hesitant. They're tentative because they don't want to be the first to shoot themselves out.
Now here's the ride out, right? 30 seconds, and it goes to time. Whoever rides longest wins the match. Now Dayton Fix, when the people were calling for stalling on the edge, that was big because if he had that stall, Jordan, he couldn't drop down on an ankle. He could not get a stall ride going. Now he has that ability. Ragusin has to get active right now from the bottom.
He's going to stand him up. He's going to try to peel that heel out.
And that right there, right, that's the benefit of not having the stall call. But he's not holding the leg. Look at Fix being a veteran. Now he can hold the leg because he
might lose it. He might lose it.
Get
out. Get
Just
back.
give one. He'll get
Get
one.
out.
That's fine.
Okay.
Now Fix has got 28 seconds to get away.
There was a stall on
stalling.
Fix. They point for Ragusin.
They didn't even give an escape. They just gave a stalling there.
It's 2-1.
What?
But look at that. That was a major mental mistake by Ragusin. He's looking for the reversal. Instead, Fix is trying to get out of bounds. Had he cleared, he would have gotten one and one.
Yeah, here's the problem, though, JB. Here's the problem, JB. If he does that, why does it take 28 seconds riding? The 28-second riding would say that he got the escape.
That's right.
With 2 seconds remaining.
So there's a lot to sort out here, Rock.
All right, so it looks like they're looking at 2 things. Dayton Fix already had a stall in the 3rd period.
Okay.
And so this time, Dayton Fix looks like he dropped down and then he let go. But that doesn't mean he can't get called for traditional stalling.
Oh, my
goodness. So it looks like it wasn't necessarily a drop down count, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he could say, you know what? Even though he's not dropping down, you still are stalling.
These guys these guys right here just determined the match. They just put themselves in the match. They just made a decision.
Hey, Rock, here's what I think it was. Watch when he looks for the reversal. He does a really good job holding on, then clearing his hands to reset the 5 count. But what I think got the stalling call was when Ragusin almost gets the reversal. Watch Fix try to kick his way out of bounds. He's looking for a way out here. And so as soon as he tries to start kicking out of bounds, this is when they're looking to hit him.
Wait, he didn't kick out of bounds, though, Jordan.
Hold on. Kicking out of bounds is only in a neutral position. What they made just call was just traditional stalling.
Look at his hand.
Avoiding
but look,
wrestling.
he's not touching the leg. He's not touching the leg. Look, he clears. Then he goes back. That restarts the count.
Not necessarily. He can still just call it a traditional stalling. It doesn't have to be a drop down. He can just say it's just stalling.
That's a terrible call, Rock. I don't care what you try to.
With a hand on the cheek. He literally had a hand on a hamstring.
My point is that it wasn't a drop down call. It was just a traditional stall, meaning that Dayton Fitz was avoiding the action.
In the middle of a scramble, Rock?
I mean,
y'all act like I made the call.
No, I know, Rock. You didn't make the call. What I'm saying is, I feel like the official made the call thinking he wouldn't have got away. And now he has painted himself into a corner now.
He's like, he's not going to get the mistake, or he's not going to get the escape. Let me reward him by just giving him a stall call. So either way, he gets his
And then
point.
he gets the escape. Now he's down 3-1.
That's a big moment. You
can't do that. That's a bad call. You cannot do that.
So the review center called the back.
Oh, my goodness. He called 1 and 1. Look at this guy just awarding points. I mean, here's machine gun points. 1 and 1. Look at this dude, man. Who is this official?
So when he unlocks his hands, watch. He's going to unlock his hands. Look, he's still counting. All right, unlocks.
Stop.
All right, now he locks it. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he he calls a stalling. So he's calling a hold on down to the mat. So he's giving him a 5. It looked maybe a 4 count, but it looks like he went 5 count, Rock, there, and then gave the stalling call.
When he held his wrist like that, that meant just to stop the riding time. When you grab the wrist, that is just saying stop the riding time. So it looks like
technically they should go back with Ragatson down, 2 seconds left in the period, and him still having that 1 stalling call point.
It looks like they awarded 1 point for an escape and 1 point for a stall.
Wow.
That's what, by being 3-1. It was 1-1.
Yeah,
and so it had an escape for 1, and then a stall call to give it another point. So it's 3-1.
All right, so DC in this position, if you're in Fix's corner, now all of a sudden you got to go neutral. You got to try to get a takedown.
You have to get a takedown, but I mean that is just bad. You don't involve yourself in the match. You don't guess. It felt like a guess.
Well, he looked pretty certain to me.
No, I'm saying you don't guess in terms of he's not getting away.
That's right. Well, he just made Dayton Fix's job a whole lot harder.
Made it a lot harder.
Well, I tell you what, this helps out Dayton Fix because now he gets his breather. And throughout this year, he's gotten tired at the end. But now look at him. He's starting to move around, getting his second win, and then he has that adrenaline burst.
You know what he's feeling right now, Rock? Extreme nervousness, like, oh my goodness, I cannot, it's over.
Well, hey, no, I love this scenario.
It's hard.
I love this scenario. You're only down by a takedown. There's 30 seconds left in the match. This is something that we practice almost every day.
Yeah, but then you still got to ride him again with the stall calls.
That's true. But he's got to sprint. He's got to go.
You got to sprint for 30 seconds now.
Hey, if you ask any competitor, put me in position to go win with a single takedown, and I've got 30 seconds to do it, I'm sure they'll take it.
You know what's crazy? He hasn't been able to take him down in 9 minutes, JB. We've been wrestling.
Well, he hasn't really tried.
He's gotten to the
But now he's got a sense of urgency. His back's against the wall. He's got to go now.
Oh, my God.
So there's a drop. There's the count. There's the break in the grip. That leg is out. And so we gave him out of bounds, 1 for loss of control and a stall. So let's see what it's going to be.
After further review, there's no stall call. We got 1.
Okay, there you go. No stall call.
I can live with that.
That's smart.
I can live with
that. Angel Rivera. There we go, Angel Rivera.
Hey, he's back on your good side. Let's go, bro.
Angel Rivera
I'm sending you a Christmas card next year.
I'm sending Angel Rivera a Christmas card for taking notice of what he's supposed to do. I'm sorry, Mike. You don't determine the match in the NCAA semifinals. I'm sorry. It's just not the way it is. Look, KJ, look. Sean Barnett's upset. I like the call.
So how does Fix approach this year strategically?
You just get away as fast as you can. You start going crazy on the bottom because now your sprint comes from the bottom. You got to get out faster than 28 seconds, JB.
Yep. He's got to hustle. Oh, that's locked hands.
Yep.
That was locked hands.
Locked hands.
That was locked hands.
It was locked hands. I saw it, JB.
So he's giving up 1 now.
But it's still.
If I'm Fix, I'm kicking. Kick. kick. Get him hit for stalling. Kick, roll again.
Oh, but not now. Hey.
Yeah, the bricks are being thrown everywhere. This is getting to a point where everybody is so tight. They're throwing bricks like they're laying down something to build a house. So at this point, they look for locking hands. What we have to see at point is, were they down on the mat? I could not tell from what I'm watching if they were down on the mat, but clearly everybody's hot now. We got like 8 referees over here blocking everybody.
Hey, Rock, could you tell me right now what's going on? I mean, it says 25 seconds for fix, but that's not right.
Correct. What they're doing is just like in football. They just let it play out. And now they can go back and say, where did the lock hands confirm? And then go back to how much time was in the riding time. So at this point, you let it play. Again, just like in the fumble recovery in football, you let it play out.
Oh.
Watch, he's going to roll.
Yeah, that's a lock. He's got
right here. Watch, he's going to roll.
No, it already happened, JB.
Look, he's going to go here, though. Watch this.
It already happened.
Oh, it happened, okay.
Yeah, it happened on the first roll. When they came back around,
and
it wasn't a great angle, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't see it very well.
Okay, he's locked.
Is that hand down?
No, not yet.
After further review, there is a technical violation.
Lock it in.
So what happens here now, Rock?
Lock hands, you go back to bottom.
But how much time is left in this match? Fix still has to get away, right, Rock?
Correct.
Or Ragusin wins with 2 seconds riding time.
Fix has the riding time advantage. So at this point, Ragusin's going to let him make it 1-1. Remember, Fix has a stall call against him.
But there's 9 seconds left.
So Fix has got to defend for 9 seconds. He's got to keep his butt to the center.
And the winner is on to the NCAA Finals. Ragusin can't get in on his shot, and Dayton Fix survives yet again.
Look at him. You got to take the booze in, JB.
Hey, listen, how? Dayton Fix is one of the nicest kids I've ever met in this sport. There's no way I would ever boo that man, regardless of how I felt about the way that he won.
Yeah.
But he's had a close match every single time.
Every time.
He went 5-4 in the quarters. Then overtime here. This guy, he's had a close match almost every single round. It's back-to-back overtime matches.
So, Mike, is it the riding time from the match, the actual match?
It's the riding time from those 2 30-second periods that decides the winner. Let's go down to Quint, who's with Dayton Fix.
That was like nothing we've ever seen, Dayton. What's going on in your mind during all that review time?
Just staying focused and doing whatever I got to do to win. It doesn't matter.
Who they booing? That's right. Who they booing? How are you suddenly the villain? Where'd this happen?
All I got to say is all the glory to God. He's given me the ability to be here tonight, and all the guys that are booing me, I just say thank you for the motivation, and I'm praying for you.
I can see there's a response. That booing is generating a response.
Yeah, I'm not a villainous guy at all. I'm a great.
You're not.
I do the right thing. I give the glory to God. If I need to be the villain, though, go ahead and boo me. I'm just going to get my hand raised.
Congratulations.
Dayton Fix is a 5-time All-American. Now he's a 4-time finalist, and he'll have to go through Vito Arujau of Cornell to try and win his first national championship. Arujau facing Ryan Crookham for the 3rd time this year. He had lost the first 2. He left no doubt this time. The T-Mobile Center living up to its name with plenty of time on the phone for the officials here in this match. And Dayton Fix getting the win over Michigan's Dylan Ragusin. The final year of his career, the 26-year-old wearing orange. Lachlan McNeil of North Carolina defeated 2-time All-American Real Woods to get here to the semis. And Bo Bartlett, one of 6 Penn State semifinalists. Jesse Mendez of Ohio State, the Big Ten champion. 6 years since the Buckeyes have had a title winner.
For years, they competed against each other. But every 4 years, they take on the world. They represent our schools and our country. We are proud to say, Olympians are made here.
banking done?
Let's go. Drive. We got to go.
Someone's in a hurry. And 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Can we go?
Yeah, faster. Oh, no, siree. You see, I get discounts for my safe driving with Snapshot from Progressive. You should see my savings. They're nuts.
You told us he was a skilled wheelman.
No, I'm a wheelman. His family name on my mother's side. What? Irish.
Wait. I have you surrounded. You just gonna stand there? Or are you gonna take your loan back?
We're gonna take it back.
We're gonna take it back.
With Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action, it gets 3 jobs done at once. Kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and keeps your lawn growing strong. Glorious!
No.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed.
Feed it, lawn. Feed it.
For the second year in a row, Chevy Equinox has been ranked by J.D. Power #1 in new vehicle quality for compact SUVs. In other words, it's really good, right from the start. Chevy Equinox.
Do that again.
Connected by OnStar. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Equinox models. Or, current Chevy owners, get $2,500 total cash allowance on this Equinox. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
These two men share something in common. Derek is in the business of fulfilling dreams. Sam thought his dreams were taken away. Because of Derek, Sam is able to golf again. And because of Sam, Derek's business is given purpose. Small businesses are started by someone with a dream, and that dream empowers others to fulfill their own. At UPS, that's what we call unstoppable.
No flex zone. No flex zone. They know better. They know better. Wanna go metal flex and a go.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Some of the most brilliant minds in business. No, not you. Or you. You auto-track business income and expenses with QuickBooks. And you pay all your employees easily and accurately. And you have a business bank account with market-leading APY. Get the full picture of your business on one platform, now with expert help when you need it. That's how you business differently.
While we've got the 2 middle mats in the dog bone configuration for you here on ESPN, all 6 mats, the blood round consolations available on the 4 outside mats. You can find that on ESPN. Plus, commentary from Shane Sparks. Anthony Robles carries you through the rest of the night. Here at 141 pounds, Jesse Mendez won the 2024 Big Ten title against Bo Bartlett of Penn State. Tech fall in his first match here. Top Brock Hardy of Nebraska in the quarters. Become an All-American for the first time. Hey now.
You don't want to be putting this blade on, man.
That looks painful.
It hurt.
Hey, the dude's probably frying him in the group chat.
Yo, bro, that's the problem. That's why.
And Anthony Echemendia, the redshirt junior from Ohio State, opposes him. 2-seed Bo Bartlett, one of 6 Nittany Lions, and Lachlan McNeil from North Carolina, the native of Toronto, and he eliminated 3rd-seeded Real Woods in the quarterfinals to become a 2-time All-American. Huge year for Jesse Mendez, earning him the #1 seed, more than doubled his bonus rate from 35% last year to almost 75% this year, after being an All-American as a true freshman last year, finishing 6th in Tulsa, far out wrestling his number 14 seed.
And he moves a lot. Look at his movement, his footwork. You'll never really see him standing still for a long period of time. He's either using his hands or he's moving his feet and using them in unison. He makes himself a difficult target to get to.
Ohio State has some really good young wrestlers, man. And Echemendia is a guy that started his career at Ohio State, so he's in there with Jesse Mendez. And you got to imagine at some point those guys came together a little bit, practiced, and then Bo Bartlett, Lachlan McNeil. McNeil winning that last match. While it was an upset, this McNeil has already been an All-American. a very talented wrestler. And boy, if you get to McNeil's legs and you allow him to get to the corner, he has so many different weapons to score on you. Lachlan McNeil.
And from the category of it doesn't matter how you win, just that you win. There's 3 for Jesse Mendez, but for Bo Bartlett for Penn State on the right side, his first match survived a scare from the number 31 seed. Cal Miller of Maryland got a takedown with 10 seconds to go to continue to advance in the championship bracket. Penn State came in with all 10 wrestlers going, but 125-pounder Braden Davis did fall against Wyoming's Jory Volk earlier. So the 2001 Minnesota Gophers with 10 All-Americans will see that record stay intact, a mark that they achieved without a single national champion.
Yeah, I mean, that was my senior year. Those guys came to wrestle, man. And I remember being in the tournament, and we had 3 guys in the finals. Iowa wrestled a great tournament also. But you just saw Minnesota while we're all waiting for the finals at home. We had 3 dudes in the finals. We just watching them come up the bracket, the stands. Everybody just coming through the backside, becoming All-Americans. It's something you can't imagine.
Well, that's heart. That's fight.
Yeah,
right?
Jay Robinson. Remember Jay Robinson?
Of course.
That was a mean old man. You didn't make All-American on that team, Jay Robinson would have got you.
Hey, he made you walk home.
Jay Robinson looked like the type of dude that he don't feed you.
I like this Mendez kid. I love the way he wrestles. He's got really good skills, but also he's strong.
Yeah.
Right? He's strong. He moves forward. He continues to move his feet. Look at his pressure from top. Got a nice claw, good hip pressure.
And belief for a young guy, Jordan. You know how important belief is. I belong. I belong. Just because I'm young doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to be the man. He wrestles like he believes he's the best in his bracket.
Watch him shelf the leg, switches off to the double, drives forward. Good finish.
And love to see that because you love him get rid of the jump.
We're looking right to the tight waist, to the head lever too, right there. He's already looking for a turn, transitioning quickly.
Scoreless early second. McNeil and Bartlett on the right side. Mendez takes a 4-0 lead. Last year, the first true freshman at Ohio State to reach the podium since Miles Martin won at 174 pounds in 2016. The Buckeyes' last national champ, Kyle Snyder, in his last year, 2018 in Cleveland. And that's now the longest title drought in the 17-year tenure of Tom Ryan in Columbus.
And they've had some hammers there. I tell you what, at least look at the 2 guys that are in his corner. You know, he's got Jay Jaggers, national champion, 141 pounds. He's got Logan Stieber, national champion, 141 pounds. He's looking to be a national champion at 141 pounds. It's pretty special what they've been able to create. It's 141U out at the OSU.
Hey, that boy Logan Stieber was a bad boy, too. He could turn from the top. They did give him one against Jordan Oliver, though. I mean, I remember I was there.
Hey, man, I saw it, and I love Jordan. That's a questionable call still in my eyes to this day.
You and Jordan not going to be friends no more after you say that.
I hope he's not watching this broadcast.
He done cut people off for less. McNeil got the escape. McNeil is just really hard to score on, man. Bartlett is a guy that since going back to 141 for a long time, he was up at 49, just kind of wrestling where he fit in.
And maybe at the wrong weight class.
When he was up. Now he's at his right weight, and you've seen it in his results all season.
But here's what I've also seen. Bo Bartlett's matches and his scores and the margins have become a lot smaller.
As the season's going on. Earlier in the year, he was separating himself a little bit more. But, man, you know how it goes, JB. They get tape on you. As the season goes on, there, and everything is so accessible now. All you got to do is go to Flow Wrestling, to Track Wrestling, click on the bracket, you see everybody's matches, every single match from every tournament. Then you start to game plan and build the way you're going to wrestle these guys.
Yeah, I've been wrestling for a long time in DC. There might not be a single wrestler around that has more tape on YouTube and Flow Wrestling than this guy right here.
I always talk to these guys, right, when they get young athletes in the UFC, and they're in the fighter meeting and they're getting their opportunity against a veteran, they say, well, I've got a ton of film I can watch. I know what to expect because he's not going to change now. He's been the same guy for 20 UFC fights. Bartlett reversed him.
And here's the thing, reversals aren't really worth a whole lot anymore.
Not as much as they used to be.
The takedown is 3 points. You're effectively only giving up an escape. He gets a reversal, he gets 2, but he's got to give up 1 if Lockton gets the escape. This is a lot closer match than you would think.
Echemendia with a takedown there.
Oh, and he's looking for back points. Look at that.
Bartlett building his riding time over 30 seconds with 65 seconds to go. Minute 34. And it's Mendez on bottom here, looking to get out and grow that 1-point lead.
Bartlett doing a really good job here. He's smart, savvy. If you're McNeil, oh, he's about to give up the count. You need a protractor out there. Look at that. Oh, there he goes. He's got it.
2 swipes.
Bartlett showing out, man. Mendez has a riding point, but he can't afford to allow himself to get taken down again because there's only 8 seconds left.
And there's a stalling call and an additional point.
Wow.
We've only got a
Changes
single
the
point.
match. Yep. Changes the match.
Look at how close this was, DC. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. He's pulling on that wrist. He's finally going to give it up. Watch him bring that left shoulder.
There it is.
Got him.
Short time, both mats, both close within a takedown.
Oh! I mean, Echemendia is on the pressure right now. He's all over Mendez. Mendez can't back out of the circle here.
He's got a body. Oh, inside trip attempt.
Mendez can't circle out of bounds here. Oh, little whizzer.
He's got to shelf the leg. Now, Echemendia's got to shelf the leg. He's got to look limp.
He can't go reset. He can't go reset. Watch Mendez. Watch Mendez. Watch Mendez wrestle like a vet here. Watch him try to take him out of bounds, Jordan. Oh, he's just holding on. He's okay here.
Smart wrestling there by Mendez.
Very smart by Mendez.
Right down to the wire for the number 1 seed, Jesse Mendez.
I like this final tomorrow. Between Mendez and Bartlett. Both of these guys press the pace. These guys both wrestle hard. They've got similar frames and similar outlooks on the sport. It's going to be a great final tomorrow.
And we're going to see a rematch of the Big Ten finals at 141 pounds, won by Mendez, 4-1 over Bo Bartlett. 17 Big Ten wrestlers advancing here into the semifinals, so no surprise that you end up seeing a rematch, because that's the most of any conference for wrestlers from the Big Ten. You see a rematch of the Big Ten finals here at 141, and perhaps at some other weights as well. Let's go down to Q with Jesse Mendez.
Smart was what our guys upstairs said. You're holding on there at the edge. What are your options?
You just got to wrestle hard. I mean, that kid's good. He's real good, strong. You know, I was being dumb. I let him get to his best spots. But, you just got to get gritty there. That's what that was.
You could see his strength late in that match as he was pushing towards you. What was going through your mind there when you get your hand raised?
Try to ice it, get another takedown. But, the kid's good in all spots. And I got nothing but respect for him. But we're on to better things now. Get a national title.
See you Saturday night.
Sir, thank you.
Bo Bartlett, Jesse Mendez will wrestle for a title tomorrow night at 141 pounds. Coming up at 149 pounds, we'll see Austin Gomez from Michigan. His 7th and final season. These 2 hard-fought finishes all the way to the end. Decisions for both. Bartlett over Lachlan McNeil, and Jesse Mendez over the Big 12 champ, Anthony Echemendia. Caleb Henson of Virginia Tech, a 2-time All-American. He's only lost twice this year. Arizona State's Kyle Parco, now a 4-time All-American and the number 1 seed from Nebraska, Ridge Lovett. The last Huskers title, 2011, was won by Jordan Burroughs.
See, Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare home insurance options.